Hi, welcome to Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana. I'm Sonika and the recipe that I've got for you today is really an interesting one. Well, the name of the recipe is Masala Scrambled Egg Sliders. Let's quickly take a look at the ingredients to make it. Eggs, slider buns or pav, cheese slices, lettuce leaves, tomatoes, onions, garlic, ginger, cumin powder, coriander powder, turmeric powder, salt, tomato ketchup, mustard sauce, freshly chopped coriander, red chilli powder, butter, oil. To start making our sliders, let's start making the masala scrambled eggs first. So let's heat some oil in a pan. While the oil is getting hot, let's chop up some garlic. Now that my oil is gone nice and hot, let's add in the chopped garlic to this. Next, let's add in some chopped ginger. And I want to saute these till they go very light brown in color. So now that my ginger and garlic have gone a beautiful brown in color, I'm going to add in the chopped onions. So in go a bunch of chopped onions. So about a cup of chopped onions, and I want to give this a good mix. Once the onions get a slight pink color or they get a very light golden brown color, at that stage you're going to add in the tomatoes. So this should take about a minute more. While the onions are frying, we're going to prep the other ingredients to prepare our slider, for which I've got this pav which tastes really great with scrambled eggs, and these are mini pav that we're using. So I'm just going to cut them in half. I'm just going to cut it like this, and then we're going to toast these later. You could also take the top off. So the onions have gone a beautiful brown color. At this point, we're going to add in the tomatoes. So let's add in a cupful of chopped tomatoes and give it a good mix. So to make this, we're also going to be adding a layer of onions and tomatoes in the slider. So I've got a full onion here which I'm going to cut into thin slices. I'm also going to cut the tomato into thin slices. Let's keep these aside and take a look at our tomatoes. Well, the tomatoes and the onions seem to have cooked. At this point, I'm going to add the powdered spices. Let's start with some red chilli powder, add some turmeric powder, add some cumin powder, and I'm going to add some coriander powder and also some salt for seasoning. Now we're also going to be adding eggs to this. So the masalas right now may seem like a lot, but once you add the eggs, it's going to be perfectly balanced. I'm going to add very little bit of water into this mixture. I'm going to turn up the heat and mix it around really well just to bring all of it together nicely. And I'm going to wait for this mixture to dry out and the oil to separate from the sides before we can continue with it. So while this mixture is cooking, I'm just going to crack a few eggs in a bowl. Now we're going to salt these eggs, so let's add a little bit of salt for seasoning. And now I'm going to take a whisk and beat the eggs nicely. At this point, you could also add a little bit of milk to the eggs to make them nice and fluffier. Our masala seems perfectly cooked as well. So now I'm just going to turn up the heat and now pour in the eggs that we've beaten into this. And now we want to just mix these around for a bit. Let them set a little at the bottom and then you want to mix them well. At this point, I'm also going to add in a little bit of butter and I'm going to evenly incorporate the butter into this. And now you're going to see your scrambled eggs coming together beautifully. At this point, I'm going to turn down the heat and we're going to add in some chopped green chillies to this. So in go some green chillies. Now let's give this a good mix again. Make sure you mix it well because you want the chilies to be spread out all through. Finally, we're going to add a sprinkling of fresh coriander. So a good dash of fresh coriander and give it a mix again. Now I'm going to turn the heat off because these are going to cook for a bit more. So we're going to let these just rest and we can start prepping the rest of our burger. I've kept our masala scrambled eggs aside and I've got a grill pan on heat. And once the grill pan is nice and hot, we're going to add some oil to it. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to apply a little bit of butter on the bread or on the slider buns. A little bit on top and a little bit inside. And I've already buttered these buns, so let's place them on the grill pan. Okay, so I'm just going to press these down a little so they get nice and crisp. Now I'm going to flip these because I don't want them to get too crunchy on the bottom, though I don't mind that for the top. So now I'm going to flip these and I'm going to let the top side cook till it goes nice and crisp and it's got slight grill marks on it. Now every good burger or a good slider needs a good spread. What we're making today for our burger is a really simple spread. I've got some mustard sauce, which I'm going to mix along with some tomato ketchup. So I'm going to take a couple of spoons of tomato ketchup and add it to this. Now this simple mixture of mustard and ketchup makes for a great spread on this burger. So I've got my spread ready and my buns look perfectly toasted. They've got these beautiful grill marks on one side. I'm going to get them out on a plate. So now let's apply some of the spread on the burger buns. I'm going to take a tiny portion of a mustard ketchup and apply it on the bread. Now I'm going to place a tiny piece of a lettuce leaf on each of this. So now I'm going to place a slice of onion and a slice of tomato over each of these. Next, I've got a slice of cheese with me, which I'm going to cut into triangles. And I'm going to place a slice of cheese over each of these. And now I'm going to take our masala scrambled egg mixture and fill it onto this. Let's transfer these onto a serving plate. So here they are, masala scrambled egg sliders. A very simple homely recipe of bhurji and pav turned into this very glamorous avatar. Make sure you try this recipe because it is a great one. Hi, I'm Sonika and you're watching me on Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana. If you like the videos that we're doing on our channel and if you are learning something from them, make sure you do subscribe to the channel.